Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Journaling on a Budget video. And today we're going to do an iris fold. The only thing you need for this is paper, glue, and ink. And you don't really even need the ink, but it's nice to have a differential where you can actually see the differences in the pieces of paper. So what we're going to do, this is what we're going to make. This is it's called iris folding. I believe it originated like with quilting, and they would fold the paper in half, and then they would do these designs with it. And so I was sitting on the couch the other day and I thought, I'm going to do this with paper. And I looked on YouTube and there's a ton of videos and a lot of different designs on YouTube for this. So once you start playing with it, if you want to get even more advanced, you can go ahead and look on YouTube and you'll be happy to see all the different things that you can find on this. But I love the way this looks. We did this with, excuse me, we did this with ribbons in our Build Your Stash series, but I was just sitting on the couch and this is what I had, next to me. And so I just started messing around with it. What you're going to need is just take your book pages, and you don't even need scissors for this because you can just rip them. So just fold them in half, give them a good crease. And this is a little bit of an older book. This is one of my Reader's Digest books. And so it rips really nicely. If you have a page that doesn't rip very nicely, then, you might need a pair of scissors. But I didn't have a pair of scissors next to me and I was too lazy to get up. So I just ripped. And I love the way that ripped edges take ink. So, and then when I got to the edge of the page, like this one here, one part of it had, was just plain. And I don't like the plain part. So that part I didn't use for this. But in with the very first one that I did, which was this one, I left it folded in half because the iris fold, normally they take fabric and they fold it so they have that nice clean edge on it. And then they put them together. But after I did that first one, it was so bulky that I decided that I really didn't need to have it folded. And so I just went ahead and I ripped my strips into nice thin strips like this. And then all you do is just use your ink and edge the edge. And I just sat there and edged a whole bunch of them because you're going to want to have them all ready before you start doing your design so that you don't have to start and stop and start and stop to make more colored paper. So, and you only have to edge one edge. You don't have to do both sides, just one edge, one side. That's it. And when you get a bunch of those done, then you can start your folding. So I'm just going to get these book pages out of my way. If I can't get a hold of anything this morning. Okay, so I'm going to slide these over and slide these over here. And then what I want is I want some kind of a aperture to put my fold behind. I like hearts. I'm going to just take, this is a piece of paper that will fit in my journal. And I'm just going to fold it in half. Because when I'm done, I want to be able to fold the back part down over the back to cover up the business part of it. So this is the half we're going to put our iris fold in. So I am just going to fold it in half just to that halfway mark. Now you're going to need room for your papers to glue down above your hole. So make sure that when you start to make your hole that you don't get too close to your fold mark. If you do, then when you're done you can just move it up a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm just going to do a heart because that's just an easy thing to do. And I'm just going to rip it. And making sure that I have some space all the way around it. Come back and start down here. And there we go. Now we've got our heart. And now we're just going to do our iris fold. Now the biggest thing about an iris fold is to make sure that you get your point. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now you're going to flip your paper over and you're going to work from the back. And I am going to start at the corner of my heart and go on an angle up this way. So I'm just going to put some glue there. And put some glue along the edge of my heart there. And then I'm just going to take my first one and I am going to, this is going to be where I'm going to start my point. So I'm just going to put that there. and then just press it down and rip off the extra. And there we go. And so this is what it looks like. You've just got this little edge right here. Now also the thing you could do is edge your heart before you start, so that you can see it. You'd be able to see it better. And actually, I'm going to do that real quick. I'm just going to edge it with the blue. Or you could edge it with even a different color. Because I'm going to do this blue and pink together so that you really see the definition between the pieces of paper. And there we go. All right, so let's do that again. We'll just put some glue starting down here at the bottom and coming up along the edge. I'm just going to attach that point and come up like that. Let's see what we've got. And there we go. See, now you can really see that a little bit better. And I'm going to go red, blue, red, blue. Now, this is what I was talking about with the point. You're going to put a little bit of glue at the point and then up the edge of this piece of paper that you just put down and at the top up here. But you need to get a good iris fold. Here's the point of the pink one. I need to put the point of this blue one right on top of that and then go up. So when you turn it over, everything is going to start right here at this point. You need to make sure that you do that, because if you don't, it doesn't really look like an iris fold. And so again, we're going to go at the point and up the edge. And these are so simple. Open a little bit at the top. And again, line that point up. And then you're just going to make sure that you're, let me show you closer because it's hard to see on this book paper, but so I've got about, maybe between 1/4 and 1/2 inch here, between 1/4 and 1/2 inch here before this one. And then the next one will come about 1/4 or 1/2 inch over on this one. So I did pink and blue and pink. So next one is going to be blue. And you just continue going until you decide, again, I'm going over about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. You don't have to flip this over and look at it each time. So long as you just kind of use your spacing here on the back the same. Down at the corner, up and over. Make sure that you start right at that point. And now you can go as far as you want and then change directions. That makes it look even more like an iris fold than if you do the whole thing all in one direction. It just looks really cool. So there we go. And then we can trim off these extra bits at the top and bottom when we're done. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Isn't that pretty? So now we're going to choose a different point and go a different way. And so that one is blue, so I'm going to start again with pink. And I think we will, let's see, how do we want to do this? I think I'm going to start my point right here. So I'm going to start my point there. And I'm going to use pink. So this is my point. And I'm going to come across like that. And I'm going to make sure that that looks okay. And there we go. So the next ones are all going to go this way. But again, don't forget to start at that point. There we go. I need to move my paper over a little bit here. I'm getting too sticky. All right, so a little bit on the point, a little on that paper, and a little over here to catch it. And now we've got our blue one. Start right at the point and come over about 1/2 inch. And you can make your spacing between them as wide as you want to. Now that one, I want to come over just a little bit more. There we go. And that was blue, so we're going to do pink. This is just so simple, and it's something you can sit and you can rip your strips. Whoops. I had to make sure I had glue on there. Start right at the point. Come over about 1/2 inch. But you can rip your strips and ink them and everything, but you can just even do this you know, right on your couch in the evening. Just something to do just to keep your hands occupied. I have to keep, even if I'm watching TV, I kind of have to keep my hands occupied. Oops. And you want to make sure that your colored line is on the outside. Start right at that point. Come over. Do a blue one. And we're almost to the end. Now the last one that you do is not really going to show color because the color is going to start right at that point. The color is going to be hidden behind your aperture, but you need to just fill in that space. That one's pink. Get the whole outside out here. Start, and you still with that last one want to start at that point so you kind of get the same angle. And I didn't, that piece was not quite long enough, so I'm just gonna, because it doesn't show, I'm just gonna stick a scrap on there to cover up the hole. And there we go. There's our iris fold, and that was so quick. I got a little bit of paper stuck to this, but I'll take care of that somehow later. And then just go in and trim off your extra pieces that are going to be in your way, because I want to fold this down just to cover this up, and I'm going to make a pocket out of this, so I don't want whatever I'm sticking in that pocket, I don't want it to get stuck and caught as I'm trying to put it in there. And then I'm just going to put glue all the way around the edges and a little bit of glue on top of my strips. Fold it down. That wasn't very straight. And there we go. Now we've got a pocket, or you can just glue here and have a tuck spot. But I just love this. And see, just by going two ways, now you can actually do a little bit this way, and then some this way, and then maybe some this way. You know, you can do it. And if you were to do a third one and you wanted to, like these are down here, and this one's coming this way, and you want to start another one, pick a point right at wherever you're starting. You want to be close to the edge of the paper. So if you wanted to start here and go this way, then you would start there, and that would be your point. And then every time you would glue there, glue there, glue there, so that you have that nice point. And then the little starburst part, the center of the starburst, would start here and fan out that way. And you can put as many layers depending on how large your aperture is. You can put as many layers as you want to. So this one I did all in one color, which that's why I did this one in the blue and the red, because I really like, with the folded fabric, there is a, you know, there is more thickness at each one of these, you know, stripes. So you see it better. But if you're just using flat paper and you edge it all in the same color, you don't notice it as much. You still notice it. It depends on how much you want to notice it. So, and then again, here is one where I didn't really, you know, my point started way over here. All of these all should have been very close together. And I didn't. I kept moving it over, and then what happened was, you know, it doesn't really look as much like an iris fold. So you do want to make sure that that point is very, very important to always start at the point. And this one I did wavy. Now this one I did cut with my scissors, but I just thought, what would it look like that way? And really I don't know yet, because I didn't really do it right, but it still looks cool, and I can still make it into a tag or put it in as a book page or something. I could put it in as a book page with this pocket underneath of it. Yeah, it's a little bit too much pink and blue maybe. So, but anyways, I hope that you like the iris fold. Like I said, there's tons and tons of patterns. There's patterns where they do the hearts and they go around and around and around till there's just a little spot left in the middle. Those are really pretty. And so just go ahead and have a look after you've tried it. If you decide that you like it, you know, check out the other videos on YouTube because there are so many really cool ones out there. I hope that you like this video. I hope you have fun playing with the iris folds. Thank you very much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.